Hey, gang, this is Deb, and this is your short take. You know what I hate? I hate it when you draw parallels between Donald Trump and Adolf Hitler, and everybody has a hissy fit over it. The news media doesn't like you to do that. They just don't like that. Um, and other people don't like it either. I had somebody say to me, "How can you make that comparison? That's totally irresponsible." Well, no, it isn't. Okay. I'll tell you how I made the comparison. Maybe it was the sight of those white supremacists with their torches blazing as they marched through the University of Virginia, screaming about the blood of America being poisoned. And maybe it was Donald Trump calling those people very good people. Maybe it was the fact that Donald Trump invited these very same people, some of them wearing shirts that said 6 million weren't, 6 million wasn't enough, down to Washington, to the seat of our government, to incite a riot, to overthrow the government, to, poison the will of the people, if you will. Okay? Maybe it was that. Maybe it was the thought of them hanging Mike Pence or kidnapping Nancy Pelosi. Maybe it was the fact that he invited anti-Semites and neo-Nazis and Holocaust deniers to dine with him at Mar-a-Lago. You know what? It isn't just me drawing these parallels, okay? No one else has the courage to say it. The news media certainly doesn't have the courage to say it. They can't even question this man's mental acuity as he meanders his way across the states, rallying in states he can't possibly win, talking gibberish. And last night, I believe he was in Philadelphia, deciding that he wasn't going to take any more Q&As. And for 39 minutes, he stood on stage swaying to Maria Callas and various other people on his musical playlist. Is that any way to run a political campaign? The news media can't even question that. So expecting them to draw a parallel that is very obvious here is off the charts. Okay. They're never going to do that. But someone is. There's a guy out there, and his name is Burt Neuborne. He's written a book about this. And Burt has found 20 points of similarity between Trump and Adolf Hitler. He also believes that Donald Trump is consciously following Adolf Hitler's blueprint for building the Nazi Party as he builds his own Nazi Party right here in America. Now, we know the Republicans don't like this kind of a comparison. They don't, because they don't want to believe that they're part of the American Nazi Party, but that's exactly what's going on here. So I'm not going to read all of these things to you, and I'm certainly not going to give you any of the detail, because there is an article that will be in the body of this video that will give you all of that. I'm just going to go over a couple of them, okay? Neither one of them were elected by a popular majority. That's the first one, okay? And both have used direct lines of communication to talk to their base. In the case of Adolf Hitler, he didn't have the internet, okay? But what he did was he manufactured and distributed cheap plastic transistors to everyone that had only one radio station, and that one radio station carried his voice relentlessly. Donald Trump is doing the same thing with social media, okay? He's doing it on Elon Musk's Twitter. I don't call it X because I just won't. And he's doing it on Truth Social, okay? They unceasingly, both of them, attacked objective truth. And part of attacking objective truth was attacking science, okay? Both conduct and orchestrate mass rallies to show their power and their status. Both made closing the border a central part of their campaign. Both embrace mass detention and mass deportation. They concentrated their power by enriching the elite class. Donald Trump does that every single day, okay? Both rejected international norms. In the case of Donald Trump, he wants to pull us out of NATO. He pulled us out of the Paris Accords on the climate once. He'll do it again. And he also pulled us out of the nuclear agreement with Iran. They attack domestic democratic processes. I think it's pretty obvious that Donald Trump has made that a staple of his campaign, both in 2020 and in 2024. He's still fomenting the big lie, okay? Both attack the judiciary and the rule of law. I think it's pretty obvious that Donald Trump's done plenty of that. You know, no one's prosecuting Donald Trump because it's a witch hunt. These are grand juries that have found him, you know, let's say, suspicious enough to conduct trials where he has lost because he has been adjudicated to be guilty by a jury of his peers. And what does he do? He attacks the judges, he attacks their families, he attacks the prosecutors. They proclaim unchecked power. And this is the most important one, ladies. I hope you're listening. You're listening closely. Both relegate women to subordinate roles. Yeah, I don't think we need any explanation there, aside from the fact that Donald Trump has pretty much taken away a woman's reproductive rights. And now we have people questioning whether women should be voting. Okay, we also have a situation where apparently Donald Trump and the GOP is looking at limiting contraception. You know what? All of these parallels, they can't be denied. The fact of the matter is, people shouldn't be asking us how we can make this comparison. We should be asking the mainstream media why they're not. That's a better question. Because we will continue to do this until this election is over. I will talk to you all later.